Welcome to the Sterling Trading Tech Roundtable video series. My name's Andrew Actman, and I'm the Managing Director of Business Development for Sterling Trading Tech. As a global provider of trading and compliance solutions, we thought it was important, especially during this time, to continue to have industry conversations with industry veterans. This roundtable will be focused on what the future holds for pre- and post-trade technologies, and who better to have than Travis Schwab, CEO of Eventus Systems, and he can share some insight on what's changing and evolving in the industry with increased volatilities and new technologies. So welcome, Travis, to the roundtable. And I think it would be great to start if you could give us a little background about yourself.
Thank you very much, Mr. Actman. Lovely to be here. Grizzlied old veteran. I think veteran is the right term, as we both.
That was a key to the introduction.
Yeah. The just for men probably application needs to go on there. Obviously we've known each other for a long time. So it's great to talk with you. Great to talk about our businesses. We've worked together now quite a few years. With the partnership with Sterling and Eventus. So really excited to be here. So I appreciate that. So just quickly about me. I've been in the business as long as you have, 20, 25 plus years. And it's really been across all the different constituencies. So whether that's a vendor or a broker or an exchange or trader. I was at a proprietary trading firm as well. So I've had a taste of all those different areas, and Eventus is the latest iteration of that kind of continuum. So Eventus Systems, we're a RegTech software company. We're squarely in the post-trade side as compared to Sterling. We focus on market surveillance and market risk, or trading surveillance and market risk solutions. So have about 60 customers globally. Those are across banks and brokers and exchanges and regulators and trading firms. We help them stay in compliance, doing their trading surveillance, doing their, controlling their market risk, really across asset classes. So that's equities, equity options, digital assets, FX, futures, fixed income, you name it. So really trying to cover a very wide span in the trade surveillance and market risk space.
Great. Yeah, and I think what's interesting, right, is we cover trading, routing execution, and sort of real-time risk management. And some of the first questions we get asked are, well, can you provide any post-trade surveillance or reports based on post-trade activity? And obviously that's something we do not do. And so, we look to work with folks like you guys. And so I think one of the first questions that I want to talk about is, how have you seen your role as a company, or even you individually, evolve in the industry over the last, call it, 2 to 5 years?
Yeah. So, from just personally, obviously I've always just been at the kind of doing the same thing, but just, different hats on, different roles. But I think I had the fortune, and you and I are about the same age, fortune of growing up during that acquisition and that real adoption of technology that happened in our lifespan. Really, I still remember to this day my dad bringing home a Pong machine when I was like 7 and plugging it into the TV. I had a Commodore 64 writing computer games.
You're dating yourself.
I know. Well, it is what it is. I'm an old man, but I've always loved technology. I've always loved this space, and I've spent the last 25 years in the capital markets applying technology to business problems. Really, or business challenges. And so that's what we do, and we continue to do that. We're pretty myopically focused on post-trade, trade surveillance areas, but still the same concepts, right? They're big data information challenges. We're trying to make it easy for people to do their jobs day in and day out. So how we've evolved over the past 2 to 5 years, it's been pretty iterative. It's not like where you have these massive changes in our business, and we haven't thankfully had to pivot too much. I would say we've actually gotten more narrow. The concept for the product that we have is called Validus. It was a pretty wide-ranging concept, and the thesis behind it when we created this company was a better way to manage risk when you're trading, and that's any act of trading. So whether that's a broker hedging their, or a corporate or ADM hedging your grain position, or a trading firm making markets in the exchange, or an exchange processing orders. Every time you're trading, every time you're in the middle of an active trading, there's risk. And so I knew that there was a better way to do that. And so we really, the product when we first came out did a lot, right? We looked at reconciliation, we looked at operational risk, we looked at market risk, financial risk, trade risk, really across the board.
Yeah, it's
and it's a lot, and you have to be good at what you do. You have to be experts. And so we really narrowed it very quickly. And I think the kind of the wins and the kind of the market, in general kind of helped us do that, but really focusing on trade surveillance. And so that's what we do, right? We just part and parcel to what we do, and we just try to get better at that every single day. And the market risk side is exactly that complement to what you guys do on the pre-trade side, right? Is that belt and suspenders approach. You guys make sure the pre-trade stuff works. We confirm that it's working. And that's because it's so critical. There's a lot of money on the line. And when things go the wrong way, they can go the wrong way in a fast way. And so to make sure you have really robust and fulsome technology like Sterling on the front, and making sure that that technology is validated on the back with Validus. And so for us, that market, the addressable market, continues to grow. If you think about the asset classes, we love the digital asset space. I mean, literally a asset class that we're watching develop the market structure in real time. So we think that's really exciting. We have a bunch of exchanges in that space. For instance, we did a press release with Gemini a week or two ago that we're super excited about. So that just continues to be
like
a space that we're
day
excited.
trading in the 90s.
It really is. It has that kind of, I mean, where do you get action, right? The markets were flat for 10 years. You obviously had that big spike over the last quarter or two, but the only other place to get any type of that kind of action was within the digital asset space. So
yeah,
we're excited about that. So yeah, I think, in general, it hasn't been this, massive change, but it's just been really, where are we providing real value to our clients? And it's really been just heads down in the trade surveillance space.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because we've taken a little bit of a different approach, right? Before we were this sort of one-stop shop, right? Here's the trading execution system, take them and you're off and running. We've now become more of a bespoke solution, right? Because we've been seeing that, folks only need certain aspects of what we offer, or they can have the all-in-one solution, right? So we've sort of shifted to this bespoke solution where you can use components or you can use everything, right?
Yeah,
and then
makes
at
sense.
the same time, we're starting to innovate with new solutions. So, I think it's, as you said before, we've been in the space quite some time.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think it's great that we're both still in the space.
It gets harder and harder, right? They keep, justifying, as you get older, it really does get harder and harder. And you see people that we've worked with for years that, just can't find that next stage. And then, how are you keep adding value to the mix? And it's not something I want to be involved in. I'm excited about building this business, and
that's
want
right.
to make sure we keep doing it.